Good news for parents of adolescents waiting for their turn to get the COVID-19 vaccine. The government is moving to the next phase of vaccination for minors 12 to 17 years old. Our Caroline Bonkin reports.
For the past 2 weeks, the National Children's Hospital has been vaccinating teenagers with pre-existing conditions against COVID-19, one of 25 facilities tasked to do so. But in a week, they are expecting a surge of vaccinees as all qualified teenagers are now up for ages 12 to 17 on November 3rd. The agency didn't give further details. But vaccine czar Carlito Galvez says even those who don't have pre-existing conditions may now in the regions.
Kasi magkakaroon na tayo ng more than 50 additional 50 hospitals from all throughout the Philippines.
These past 2 weeks, almost 19,000 adolescents with weak immune system have been vaccinated in Metro Manila. There are still about 12.7 million in this age group waiting for their turn.
Vaccinating more children isn't the only target come November. Also on the table is the administering of third doses for the immunocompromised and booster shots for health workers and senior citizens.
But this is still on hold while the government awaits the World Health Organization's final guidance.
In different brand. Considering na nakita natin na meron tayong issue na gusto ng mga healthcare workers, they will choose their own vaccine.
And they have to wait further until a new emergency use authorization is given that would allow the use of existing vaccines as extra doses. The Food and Drug Administration has started reviewing each brand after the Health Department sent an official request on Tuesday. FDA vaccine experts are checking if it is better to use the same brand or if it should allow the mixing of different vaccines as booster or as an additional dose. They will also check if certain vaccine brands would now require 3 doses.
I'm giving the experts naman time to take a look dahil napakarami rin talaga ng studies. And there are separate studies we're using at least 7. So yung number of combinations na possible napakalawak din, napakadami din, dumadami din. Medyo masalimuot ng konti yung pag-check data available right now.
Final F expected within a week or 2. Caroline Bonkin.
From COVID-19 vaccination to treatment, at least 300,000 bottles of the antiviral pill Molnupiravir will be delivered to the country by India in November. The drug companies Medithix and Jack Pharma officials say this is part of 4 hospitals' orders under a Compassionate Special Permit or CSP. The vials are enough for 300,000 COVID-19 patients. Recent interim studies show the drug could help cut the risk of getting severe COVID and dying by half. The Food and Drug Administration says 31 hospitals and 5 pharmaceutical firms have been granted a CSP to use and import Molnupiravir. A drug under a special permit did not go through the rigorous checks by the FDA, and the doctor or hospital who applied for a CSP is responsible for the patient's safety.
It means this is a drug that is under clinical investigation for the use against COVID-19. Kaya lang nakita nga sa early results na maganda naman at very encouraging yung results niya. So maaari ngayon humingi ang pasyente at saka ang doktor ng special permit para madala dito ang gamot na ito at magamit. It has to be dispensed pa rin sa hospital. Siyempre magpapacheck up pa rin naman sa doctor nila yung pasyente, tapos doon siya i-dispense, and the doctor will have to keep track.
Molnupiravir is expected to cost around 100 to 150 pesos per pill or per capsule. A 5-day treatment would need 40 capsules. The country lists 3,218 new COVID-19 infections. This is the lowest single-day tally in over 5 months. The health department also reports 6,000 from the disease, while 271 more people died. Will new infections soon drop to less than 2,000 daily? The Octa Research Group says based on current trends. In a tweet, Octa fellow Guido David noted of new cases decreased from almost 7,000 October 13 to 19 to over 4,800 the following week. The last time cases were this low was on March 12 to 18. said the country is now classified as low risk for COVID-19, even as the use of intensive care beds nationwide remains at to control the surge of visitors. Environment Secretary Roy Cimatu announced the relief of Jacob Maimban on Wednesday. Cimatu says Maimban is taking full responsibility for the overcrowding at the artificial beach, which peaked at more than 120,000 people over the weekend. Maimban will face an investigation by an interagency task force overseeing the Manila Bay rehabilitation. Now, despite giving him the boot, Cimatu praised Maimban for acting quickly to avert a potential disaster last Sunday. Maimban earlier told CNN Philippines he was worried that the footbridge where throngs of people were lined up could give way because of overcapacity. He ordered the immediate exit points at the beach. Cimatu insists Maimban agency's apparent lapses. He also apologized.
We are really very sorry what happened. Hindi na maulit yan. It was really unfortunate na nangyari one Sunday na nasira yung tingin ng sa ating concern sa pandemic. We are really very concerned pandemic.
San Paulito after November 3 or tuloy-tuloy nang isasara dahil magkakaroon din ng construction dyan.
But the DNR may face another issue over the Dolomite Beach. Presidential aspirant and Senator Manny Pacquiao says he wants to investigate possible anomalies in the project, including some equipment that are allegedly missing. Undersecretary Jonas Leones says they are ready to cooperate in the probe and that they would reach out to Pacquiao, who also chairs the Senate Committee on Public Works. Those planning to visit Metro Manila's cemeteries have until tomorrow before they close temporarily. Cemeteries and columbariums will be off limits to the public from October 29 to November 2nd. Tristan Odalo tells us authorities have a reminder for families this Undas.
The tomb of his family at the Manila South Cemetery, but observing All Saints Day is different this time around. His wife was also buried in the tomb.
Mother ko, father ko, kapatid ko, ipag ko, at misis ko.
His family's visit after Undas.
Hindi, babalik kami dito pagkatapos ng Undas. Babalikan namin sila. Kasi kamamatay lang siya. Pangit naman yung hindi namin siya pupuntahan.
It's also a family affair for Maria Gloria Levides when they visit relatives at the Manila South Cemetery.
Maluwag. Hindi ka pag November 1, naranasan namin dati na ang daming tao, tapos biglang umulan ng malakas. Malakas na tubig doon basa rin kami pag mas safe ngayon kasi nga, di ba, COVID.
At least 3,000 people visit the Manila South Cemetery daily. This is substantially lower than the over 200,000 visitors that squeezed into the facility before the pandemic.
Tinitignan po natin yung mga tao, yung mga nakakapagpasok ng kontrabando, gaya ng mga pointed objects, mga baril. So far, ngayon wala naman kaming nakakompiska.
Fewer visitors mean lower income for vendors as well as tomb cleaners and painters inside the cemetery.
Medyo matumal din po kasi po sa tao po konti lang po kasi yung pumapasok at saka dumadalaw. Yes, malayong-malayo po kumpara sa mga nakaraan nung wala tayong pandemic. Sobrang daming tao po talaga.
Yung mga ibang alaga namin hindi dumadalaw. Tapos yan, hindi nagpapalinis, hindi nagpapapintura.
CNN Philippines also checked the situation at the Manila Memorial Park in Sucat, Parañaque. The management has yet to give us an updated number of visitors, but thousands also went here since last weekend. Flowers were sent and a handful of visitors also paid their respects to former Presidents Noynoy and Cory, as well as former Senator Ninoy Aquino. While the number of Filipinos going to Metro Manila cemeteries is still manageable, authorities appeal to the public to carefully schedule and plan their visits. A lawmaker even appealed to Filipinos to postpone their visits or observe Undas virtually. Tristan Odalo, CNN Philippines.
major bus depot in Parañaque is requesting bus companies to deploy more units in anticipation of the surge in passengers bound for the provinces this Undas. Rex Amita joins us live from the Integrated Terminal Exchange. Rex, how is the crowd there?
Well, behind me are long lines of passengers bound for the provinces. They include commuters who just got out from work and going home to Laguna and Batangas, and those travelers who are going to their home provinces in the Bicol region, Visayas, and Mindanao for the Undas. And the terminal officials are expecting the influx of passengers beginning tomorrow until Sunday, which may reach 65,000 passengers daily. That figure is near 70,000 commuters before the pandemic. The MMDA is deploying enforcers to manage bus traffic. The agency has requested companies to field 300 buses to meet the demand.
Nagno-normal na tayo eh. So pinipinpoint na namin ngayon yung mga intersections para mabilis ang turnaround ng mga buses.
Magdagdag din ng konting pasensya kasi of course pinapatupad pa rin natin yung health protocols at magkakaroon pa rin mga konting delays.
If you're traveling to far provinces, book your ticket in advance. If you're bound only to Southern Luzon, it's okay to just walk in and buy your ticket. To reserve your ticket, just call the bus company or PITX. IATF guidelines require passengers to get tickets 48 hours before the trip. Buses must fill in half of seating capacity. Some passengers bound for Bicol tonight got a ticket just this morning, but officials say passengers should make sure they will be allowed entry to their destination.
Wala rin akong idea na na para magpunta dito maaga. Siguro excited lang umuwi. sa tagal ng mga 1 year hinihap na kasi.
Some local governments request passenger manifest in advance. So if your name is not there, you cannot get in even if you have a ticket. Authorities are reminding passengers to always wear face mask and shield inside the terminal and at the bus. And they're also saying that passengers must also prepare in advance their documents as required by the LGU. And most importantly, be patient and calm while waiting for your bus. Back to you.
Rex Remito there reporting.